ABC General Hospital spoilers suggest that what Cullum spills isn't just one big shocker. Instead, it's a slow thought-out uncovering of secrets Jason had no idea about. Secrets that completely change what he believed about Britt and the problem she was in. Cullum doesn't yell or throw accusations at Jason. He just talks calmly like someone who's got all the cards. He drops little bits of info here and there, just enough to really mess with Jason's head and make him feel like he's losing control. He's suggesting that Britt wasn't just going with the flow. Instead, she was pushed into a bunch of changes. Concessions and unspoken deals that completely changed her spot in a much bigger plan. These changes weren't sudden at all. They really snuck up on Britt one after another, all planned out and just awful. It all happened behind the scenes, leaving her no way out without making things even worse for herself. When Cullum breaks down how Britt got moved around, given different duties and kinda sidelined, Jason starts to get it. He sees that the woman he's been trying to help was actually living in a crazy, ever-changing situation, where the rules of the game shifted way too fast for anyone's loyalty to stand a chance. Every new piece of information just kept twisting the plot, moving it away from a basic rescue and right into a battle of minds and emotional tricks. It became clear Britt wasn't seen as a person. Her worth was all about what she knew and how easily she could be tossed aside. Jason felt like the ground was giving way under him. He just realized these changes were not done yet. They were still happening. And Britt probably had no idea how big the ripple effect would be. Cullum isn't just saying past choices are bad. Things are speeding up. It's like new friendships, new betrayals, and even old backup plans are all kicking in now. Those plans were always there just in case Britt went a bit sideways or got mixed up with the wrong crowd. This is the point where it all falls apart. Because Jason figures out that even though his earlier tries were fierce and loyal, they were based on incomplete information. Finding out that Britt's whole situation was messed with in the background means Jason has to change up his game plan. Big time. He's no longer just playing defense. He's got to go on the offense. Moving from keeping things secret to shaking things up. He can't just hide Britt or get her out of the way anymore. He has to literally tear down the things that keep putting her in danger. Cullum's disclosures really shook Jason, giving him this dangerous clarity that just wiped out all his hesitation. Now there's this urgency because every moment he wastes just lets those hidden systems get a tighter grip. As Jason learned more, he started seeing Britt in a different light. Instead of someone who just made careless choices, he began to realize she was someone who'd lived through really tough situations, carrying the load of decisions that weren't ever really her own to make. Knowing all this just makes him more determined, pushing him to do crazier things. He's expanding his plans, making decisions that can't be taken back. What started as hushed rumors is now blowing up into an outright fight. Jason's all in, ready to rip apart every little thing that was holding Britt hostage, even if it means digging really deep to find it. This isn't about playing nice or keeping things tidy anymore. It's gotten messy, out of control, and really hits home. Cullum might think he's putting Britt out there to mess with Jason, but what he's actually doing is kicking off a big change. Things are definitely way past the point of being kept under control now. Things are really heating up fast and relationships are falling apart. The truth has turned into something people are using to hurt each other. It's clear that saving Britt isn't just about getting help anymore. It's turning into a huge showdown that could take down everyone caught in the middle. When Jason finally told Carly everything, you could feel the whole mood in the room shift right away. Like the air got heavy with what he said. Once he laid out the truth about Cullum's family, the whole situation really hit Carly hard. This isn't about far-off threats or some vague danger anymore. It's about how close it is, how far it can reach, and what it's actually trying to do. It really hits her hard knowing Cullum's family is all wrapped up in these secret shady power groups. She can just imagine how easily Jocelyn could get sucked into that kind of world, where being innocent doesn't protect you at all. Jason just tells it like it is, no sugarcoating the warning. He's saying that Cullum being with the WSB makes him a bigger threat, and Carly really shouldn't take him lightly. This person is trained to quietly ruin lives, able to pick a target and take it apart without anyone ever seeing them. Carly felt an instant piercing fear, like a physical blow to her chest that just wouldn't let go. Jason thinks they need to be careful, saying that some distance is the only thing keeping them safe for now. He's telling her to stay clear of Cullum and Sidwell, not to get involved with them in any way, no talking, no fighting, no stirring things up. But Carly isn't one to back down. She doesn't survive that way. She absolutely can't stand the thought of waiting around while the danger gets worse. It's like watching a fire slowly creep towards her house. She's saying that by staying quiet and doing nothing, we're actually playing right into guys like Cullum's hands. Every second we wait, he gets to set himself up better, deciding exactly when and where he'll make his move. When Jason really pushes for restraint, Carly just digs in her heels and becomes even more defiant. She just can't agree to a plan where she feels helpless, especially with her daughter's safety on the line. The tension really hits its peak when Carly finally figures out the real reason Jason can't just get rid of Cullum. She gets it intellectually, but the way his efforts to save Britt are taking up all his attention still feels like a betrayal. It hits you hard like something inside just broke. For Carly, what truly matters is super obvious. And the idea that Britt living could slow things down feels totally unacceptable to her. Carly can tell Jason is getting pulled in a bunch of different directions even without knowing all the secret stuff. That thought just set her off, not because she's heartless, but because fear always squashes out any room for understanding. For her, Sunny and Jocelyn had to be the priority, absolutely. If there's any chance they could get hurt because we paused, that just seems like too big a risk to take. Carly felt that familiar feeling wash over her as the argument got hotter, like she was losing control. Even though Jason kept telling her to stay away, she felt drawn to go closer. She's starting to feel like she has no choice but to do things her way. It's not crazy, just how things are gonna go down. Carly's always been wary about handing off her safety to someone else, and Cullum being around just makes that feeling even more intense. She began to think about what she really didn't want to think about, trying to figure out if it was better to do something or just wait it out. Each new thing she learns about Cullum's influence and methods just makes her more set on her path, inching her closer to a tipping point. Cullum isn't just messing with Carly though. He's making sure every step he takes just squeezes Jason harder, pulling him further into a tangled mess that's getting more and more dangerous. This whole thing isn't just a random mess, it's a careful setup, a bunch of planned moves to throw Jason off balance. Cullum really gets what it's like to be obsessed with something, and he knows just how to feed that feeling. When Jason faces these new threats, unexpected issues, and tough moral choices, it really changes him deep down. His instincts become sharper, but also a lot more unpredictable. Jason feels it coming on, that shrinking feeling in his mind where every choice feels incredibly urgent, with no time to wait and think things through. That internal danger just pushes him without end. Carly's got enough on her plate, trying to keep things steady with Valentin while she also works on taking down Brennan, but then Cullum pops up, and that whole mess just won't stay in its own little box. It's in every number, every chat, even in the quiet times. This is an issue she can't just put on her calendar for later or hand off to someone else. When Cullum showed up at her door, it wasn't just a visit, it was a sign that the storm had already broken through. Carly's carefully built balance starts to crumble. She's worked really hard to keep things steady, but the pressure is too much. She has to face a tough question. How far will she go to keep the things she loves safe? They're starting to realize something important. Cullum isn't just responding to what they do, he's actually making it happen. As Jason is put into more dangerous situations, it really shows how he's changing in a pretty dark way. Jason isn't just sticking around because he feels he should. What's driving him now is this growing obsession, a mix of fear, the weight of responsibility, and the awful realization that time is absolutely running out with every second that passes. That obsession really makes him zero in on what he's doing, feeding his determination. But it also means he can't seem to just take a breath and see the bigger picture. Cullum might think he's winning, but all he's really doing is making Jason into something much scarier. Someone ready to break every rule just to stop the danger for good. Things are getting crazier, and it's hard to tell if something is meant to protect or destroy. Carly's about to make a big move. Jason, though, dives headfirst into a fight he just can't quit. And Cullum, he's just taking it all in, cool as a cucumber. The danger isn't just coming. It's already landed, shaking up old friendships, stirring up fear. This new chapter isn't about playing it safe, it's about obsession, things getting out of hand, and payback that will echo long after the next move. Cullum isn't content with just careful calculations or limited outcomes anymore. What he's after now isn't just about strategy. It's about control, breaking things and making them worse. He's really zeroing in on Carly now. It's not just about her. He sees her as a key spot, a weakness that could totally mess up Sunny's whole operation from the inside. Cullum gets that just pushing hard would make things worse, so what he does instead is try to split people up. He plants seeds of doubt and fear where everyone used to be really loyal. By just being around Carly without really showing himself, he makes things happen that bring out problems in Sunny's group. It makes Sunny's friends wonder about what's important, when to do things, and who they can really trust. This is a dangerous change in how Cullum operates. Instead of aiming for quick, precise hits, he's now opting for a slower approach, gradually wearing things down. He's really good at making it look like chaos just happened naturally, but it's actually all carefully planned out. The moment this change started happening, the consequences were felt right away, and they were really bad. Cullum's complications aren't just there. They actively mess with every single change Jason is trying to make. Every time Jason tries to fix his plan, Cullum messes it up again, making things even shakier for Jason. It started with us being super careful and controlling everything, but now it feels like we're just reacting to one wild threat after another. Jason's just getting sucked deeper into trouble, and it seems like nowhere's safe anymore. If he stops to think too long, he's only making things worse. Cullum really wants to push Jason, making him stretch himself thin and force quick decisions. The hopeful vision is that the confusion between smart moves and frantic ones will make Jason mess up eventually. Britt is right in the middle of this mess, totally not ready for what Callum is about to tell her. What he tells her doesn't just surprise her. It totally shatters what she thought she knew about her past. It's like finding out about all these tricky things and compromises she was never supposed to know. Thinking about how she wasn't just used, but actually placed there on purpose, like a pawn in some big game, really sent her for a loop. She absolutely freaked out. Britt was really shocked at first, but that quickly changed into something much scarier. She got angry, she pushed back. And she felt this urgent, almost reckless need to take back control no matter what it took. When Britt learned that people would sacrifice her without a second thought, she started thinking about doing things she never would have considered before. These new dark urges are a big turning point. Britt isn't just surviving anymore or waiting for someone else to protect her. She has to strike back even if it means getting her hands dirty in ways she's actively avoided for years. Cullum's revelations totally shake things up just like they were meant to. They really make you think, get a reaction out of you, and change how you see things. Britt's dealing with a whole new world, and Jason's in an even tighter spot. He's trying to stop Cullum, keep Carly safe, and hold Sunny's business together, all while wondering if Britt is going to fly off the handle too. Cullum isn't shy about what he wants anymore. He isn't just trying to win one game. He's completely changing how the whole thing is played. When Cullum went after Carly, played on the drama with Sunny, forced Jason to make some really risky moves, and then stirred up Britt's darker side, it became clear the situation was no longer manageable. It's not about making super careful choices anymore. This is about things getting crazier and crazier with no way to stop it. Each new piece of info becomes a weapon, and everything someone does just makes it more dangerous. What comes next won't be held back, and the aftermath will go way beyond what anyone got ready for at the start.